Thanks for joining us for 2 News at 10 tonight. A lawyer for the Cox family said that Steve Powell was in Utah on the weekend that Susan disappeared.
She said that a co-worker of Steve Powell gave that information to police. Ladd Egan got in touch with the attorney and also family members to figure this all out. So, Ladd, is she backtracking on the statement tonight?
Yeah, well, she's backtracking on the exact date. She says that co-worker can't remember the exact date that Steve said he came to Utah for a camping trip, but the attorney says this co-worker is adamant that this camping trip happened around the time Susan went missing.
There was a camping trip, that it was with the boys, with Steven and with Josh.
A woman remembers co-worker Steve Powell talking about a camping trip in Utah.
Very similar to what Josh has described about freezing, camping trip, open fire, roasting marshmallows.
Cox family attorney Ann Bremner says the woman believes it was the same midnight camping trip Josh Powell took the night Susan went missing.
She felt that he was suspicious, acting suspicious, especially in that he wasn't saying that Susan was missing. And at all, even though it was all over the national news.
But the co-worker's story contradicts an already established timeline.
He was at work on the 7th. I think that's pretty well documented by now.
Josh's brother-in-law, Kirk Graves, also remembers that when his family called up to Washington that Monday to inform of Susan's disappearance,
she is pretty confident that she heard Alina talking to Steve.
In addition, West Valley police have told family members that they know where Steve was that weekend.
They haven't said where he was, just that they know where he was that weekend.
But there is still the question about the 2 days that Steve called in sick to work right after Susan went missing. The same day, Josh rented a car and drove some 800 miles.
There's been speculation that there could have been a halfway meeting point.
The new information has family members looking more suspiciously at Steve Powell.
I've always thought that Steve had it in him to be completely involved.
Graves says that in the years leading up to Susan's vanishing, that Josh got closer to his dad and distanced himself from Susan.
Motive, I think they both had reason why they would want to get rid of Susan.
Even with intense interest and more speculation about the case, Graves says the family is trying to move on.
We're all coming to a realization that this story doesn't have a happy ending.
Also today, Susan's father, Chuck Cox, says he believes that Steve Powell was involved in the planning and execution of Susan's disappearance. Heidi and Mark, per a citywide gag order, the West Valley City Police are not commenting on this new witness's claims. Back to you.
All right, still a lot of questions tonight. Ladd, thank you.